So let's talk about the maintenance of this. So if I want to edit anything under here, I can use my cursor. Now that's a bit of a pain. So one of the other things I can do, which is probably the most obvious way if I needed to edit it, if I needed to do a larger edit on it, is I can hold Control and I can click all of these and I can move them down. As you can see with this demo, I already made a mistake, so that's kind of a pain too. One of the other issues is that these checkboxes now sort of exist in a very orphaned state. If I move them around, I may not remember which one connects to which. So one way around that is to name the checkbox. So if I hold Control and I go over here, you can see it has the name of checkbox 1. Now there are two ways to do this. We can name it Oceania, or we can name it Country 1, or Country 2, or Country 3 for each checkbox. I personally like the latter method. And the reason I like that is because I can reuse this, and it's not specific to a country. So if I were to take this whole dynamic, I could copy and paste it into another dashboard and maybe rehook a few things up, but the basics of it are still there. So let's call this Toggle 1, because I think toggle sort of explains what it does. So I'll hit enter here. And then I'm going to go over here to Frajonia on this one, on this checkbox. We'll call this Toggle 2. We'll hit enter. And then over here, I'm going to hold Control, click it. We'll call this Toggle 3. Now, this doesn't just help us in understanding that the leftmost one is 1 and the rightmost one is probably always going to be 3, but you'll see it can actually help us in other ways too. So rather than moving any of this, what I can do is I can hold Control, and I can click on Oceania, and then I'll go over here to Format, or I should say I click on the checkbox that's on top of that. I'll go over here to Format, and then you see within this arrange, there's something that says Selection Pane. So I'm going to click this, and you see that this gives us everything that's on this spreadsheet. So let's say I wanted to do a mass edit. I can just flip these off, and I know as I'm flipping them off what they refer to. So I know Toggle 1 is over here because I just named it. And if I want to turn it back on, I can just click that eyeball again. So here everything is sort of set up, and I can move it if I needed. Let's say I wanted to put it over here for some reason. I don't, but let's say I did. I could do that, and I can actually then flip these back on and then move them over again. And so what's nice about this dynamic is if, let's say I wanted to add another one right here, I could easily do that. I could copy and paste this, hook it up to whatever new data set I'm putting back here, draw this out. It's still, Snap to Grid is still on, so we could draw that out again. And I would have an idea that this item right here is the same size as the rest of these, and I can draw another checkbox right on top of it. So using Snap to Grid and using the selection pane and naming things really helps us out a lot. Now, let's say you're getting sick of Snap to Grid. What you can do is just select any shape, go back to Format. You can go click a line again and just turn it right off.